Oh shit.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I just instead of pressing yes to accept you, I waved at someone and I was like, oh fuck, what have I done? So hi Liz.
Know how it works. I was like, is this how you request?
It's crazy, isn't it? I'd never done one of these before I did this series. And
Yeah.
now this is like, I think it's my 20th.
You've done well.
I did 19 in a row and then the sun came and I was just like, I think people would rather be in the sun.
Yeah.
Because I know I would.
Let's take the opportunity again.
I saw you training earlier and it was sunny. Or was that from yesterday?
It was today. It was sunny, but it was also like a hurricane. It wasn't the best.
Ours is just, it's been raining in London all day. But like that annoying rain, that it's enough that you're like, should I just go outside and train? And then you're like, no, I'm going to fall over and die.
Yeah.
Like,
I was trying to do walk lunges like down here. My hair was like this. I was like, I can't see.
I loved the video of your dad coming out and photobombing you.
He's a nightmare. He's done it so many times lately. I don't know why.
He's brilliant. He should have his own hashtag.
I think he should. If only he knew how Instagram works. That's all I ask about.
Well,
that.
maybe he can watch this afterwards and he might learn a little.
There you go.
Bless him. It'd be like the blind leading the blind, I reckon. Bless him. Well, thank you for coming to chat to us. I thought that it would be really good for you to chat to the girls because obviously everyone wants to grow their Instagram, right? No one really knows how it works. The algorithm's always changing, but you seem to do it really well. I really like your content. Is like, obviously we show a lot of skin. We're fitness competitors and some girls can just not quite find the right balance between it still being beautiful or classy or you know, I think that there is definitely a fine line. And I suppose it's just trying to unpick what that is and just give some tips and like your own experiences and how you've grown your Instagram, because actually you've got very big following compared to some of the girls.
I don't know about that.
No, honestly, I think you might have one of the biggest ones out of the girls that I follow.
Yeah.
But then I only follow my friends, so I'm like, but yeah, how long have you been on Instagram? Like,
I've been on Instagram for a while. Probably since I was about 18, so about 5 or 6 years. But I don't think I ever really pushed it when I started it. I sort of used it as a kind of way to sort of log my own journey and like follow people that, as you say, like follow my friends and see what's going on. I think I've only really decided to push it for the last couple of years. But it's one of those things that I want to have some magical answers. So like, this is how you grow your Instagram. Yeah. It's not that simple. No. And as I said earlier, like Instagram changes its algorithm all the time. So I go through phases where it's like, oh, this is going really, really well and I'm growing. And then it'll just, and I'm like, I'm there now. So it's just not gone up for ages. But it's
sometimes you get like hundreds of instant likes on a post. And then sometimes it's like 50. And you're like, what's wrong with this one?
I know, and it can be so frustrating. It can be like a piece of content that you've really worked hard on, you thought was going to do really well, or you've edited some amazing video or whatever, and you post it and it's just a complete flop for no reason. But you've just got to kind of roll with the punches, and some things are going to do a lot better than others, get more engagement, more reach, and you just got
I definitely, when you said that you used to use it like almost a photo album for your progress, I have been doing the same thing for, how long have I been on Instagram? 4 years, but it was literally just my photo album and to just talk to my friends that compete. And it's only in the last like year, maybe 18 months maximum, that I started to use it a little bit more commercially and a little bit more to, I don't know, maybe not just educational content, because my page isn't really like that, but just to provide a bit more value to people that follow me than just my photo album. And don't get me wrong, I still use it like that, but there's a lot more professional pictures on there. There's a lot more of my sponsorships, for example, pushing a product. And I really did see the difference where I started to grow, when I started to provide more value to people that might want to learn, or even creepy guys that just want to look at you. Because there's definitely a few of those.
Yeah, there's some of them.
And there's a lot of non-creepy guys too. But yeah, I just I really did see the difference. I mean, in lockdown, because I have been doing these lives and I've had a lot more exposure to the person I'm speaking to's following as well. My Instagram, I've grown more in the last 6 weeks than I have done in the last year, for sure. Like, also for me, I'm off season, right? And you just don't get that many followers when you're not dieting, you know?
You know what? That's an interesting point, because I don't think I have many competitors that follow me, because I've competed twice, but it's not like my thing. I don't consider myself a competitor. So for me, like, I lost followers when I was on prep. Like, people didn't care. Like, it's some people do, but that's not the reason why I think I have followers. And I think that is a problem for competitor accounts, because yes, that is your world, but you can't really access like other areas, because people that aren't do not understand it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So
definitely.
Game.
I think that I've got like a bit of a selling point is I'm a masters competitor, right? So I'm like the poster child for masters because I won the British. So I have most masters, especially in PCA, usually tend to follow me just to keep an eye on their competition, right? And also I talk a lot about my mental health, and that has really I've got quite a solid engagement with the kind of people that they relate to that, because some people, I've never really tried to just be this perfect, look at me, my life is great, I'm a fitness model, because I'm not, you know. I've got a corporate job, and this is my hobby, and this is my community as well, because it's such a solo sport, bodybuilding, you know, especially in London. So I feel like my engagement is there because I've found little niches, a couple of little different niches that I can slot in and out of should I want to. But I really think it's just so important to just be yourself, right? And then get that genuine engagement comes from following genuine followers, right? That relate to your content because it's authentic.
Exactly that. Like, I don't want to look at any post that I've ever done and think that's not me, or I always wanted that. I always wanted to be 100% myself on Instagram, and I think that is potentially where some people struggle, because they try and be a certain way. I'm not saying like that my answer is the answer to everything, but I would rather just be myself, and if people don't like it, then they don't like it.
I always just say, if they're not meant, like, if they don't relate to what I'm offering, there's no value for them in following me anyway. Why would they want to? I still can't believe that people watch my stories every day of me just chatting shit. You know, like, it's a lot more of a waste of their time if they don't like what I'm saying, you know. So you really have to have the kind of people there that are actually interested in your antics.
Exactly. And that's something that if you are trying to direct content specifically at your followers, that's something you can learn from. Like, you can go look at your insights, see what's doing well, see what sorts of people follow you, and then you can kind of piece it together. Okay, this is doing well, this is the content, you know, and you can paste it throughout your page. That's something that I found useful. Like, I know, for example, if I post a photo, it will get more engagement than if I post a video. It just does. But then at the same time, I like to be able to put videos on my page for educational content, training wise. So I'll space it. I won't do a whole load of videos in one go, because that's going to massively impact my engagement. So there's little things like that that you can learn from, and you can understand what your followers want to see. And I definitely use that a lot to sort of decide what to post. And again, I try to mix it between photos, videos, IGTVs, and swipe workouts and things like that. I think Instagram algorithm tends to like it more if you do more things. It's just that.
Do you find yourself thinking, I want to post this picture, and then think, oh no, I can't yet because I have just done a picture like that, so I've got to wait?
I do a bit.
Yeah. I've started to do that. I never did that before. And now I look at my grid and I'm like, oh no, it's too many pictures of, I don't know, check-in photos where there's like 3 together in one, and then it starts to look a bit messy. And I know that's so silly, but it's almost the perfectionist in me anyway, thinking, oh, it's too busy. Yeah. What do you find tends to do the best? Do you have like a certain type of content that you will always get?
Yeah, it's usually like either like a fitnessy photo, or I've started to do more like fashion photos and things like that. So that's something I've always enjoyed, but I've never really posted much. So it's usually some sort of photo like that does the best. Occasionally I'll get a video that just goes like mad, but I don't know why. I really wish I did know why, but I don't.
It's funny, isn't it? I always wonder, you know, you can see people have shared it. Yeah. And I always think, who on earth has shared this and why? And then you've got to wonder, what did they say to their friend when they sent it to them?
Sometimes if it like does well, or I know that if people save your videos, so for instance workout videos, if people save it, that does increase your engagement. And if that then goes on and goes onto your explore feed or someone else's explore feed, that's when it really picks up and the ball gets rolling. Sometimes that happens, but again, you can't control whether that's going to happen or not.
No. I remember, so my ex, he's got quite a big Instagram, and he always puts training videos on, and he would always put it on, and he'd say to me like 10 minutes later, like, how many people have seen it? And I'd be like, God, you're so obsessed. And he'd be like, yeah, but you can tell now in the first 10-15 minutes if it's going to do well or not.
You absolutely can.
And then I'd be like, well, are you going to delete it if it doesn't? But he was like, well, no, of course not, but you know, you'd be annoyed. And I'd say there's no like reasoning to when something does well or not, you know. And it also does depend on who interacts with your photo, right? So I find that my friends that have more, my influencer friends, if they comment on my picture or like my picture, it obviously will then put it into the explore of their followers, who are more likely to then see my stuff, you know, and may not have even been aware of who I was. I really did find, actually, in the lockdown especially, I've never really done the whole networking thing. I don't like to play the competing game. Like, I don't go to the events. I just want to compete, and I'm just with my mates. And it's not like every competitor's my friend. It's a very specific type of personality. It's the same sense of humor, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't do the whole networking thing, but I found myself in lockdown with a lot more time, not allowed to leave the house. I live on my own, and it's like I've given it a lot more effort, and I've made a lot of effort to, I don't know, be a part of competition world, especially in the competitors. And I've had people message me saying, how have I not been following you already? Like, how did I not know you? And I was thinking, because I never actually made the effort to put myself out there before. I think that's a massive thing, isn't it? Like, interacting with people with big followings, I've found when they repost me, that's when I'll get like just random people following me. And obviously a lot of those drop off as well, and will unfollow you quite quickly if you're not what they're interested in.
Following goes like that all the time, and happen. But you're absolutely right in saying that, and I think Instagram works 2 ways. Like, both you have to be posting and you have to be interacting with other people's stuff for your account to get more engagement. I know that I don't do that enough, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Especially when I'm working and I'm busy, I'm like, oh God, like I physically do not have the time.
I think it's like a full-time job.
Really, that really is. So I definitely think that's something I could work more on, especially now I've got more time in lockdown. But
But then I'm still working. I assume you are as well.
I'm furloughed, so.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm still coaching, but I'm furloughed from my job. So yeah, I have a lot more time.
I'm so jealous.
I'm going insane.
In the hot weather, I was like, those bastards that are furloughed are having the best time right now. But then in that first you know, like the first maybe 6 weeks, I think was the hardest for everyone because we weren't used to it yet. I was still working. So it was like, I was lucky one then. And a lot of my friends just straight up lost their jobs, you know, like they weren't furloughed. They're like PTs, for example, that are self-employed, that literally had nothing. And I was just so grateful that I still have my job and I have time to mess around on Instagram a lot more than I have had before. But it has shown me that it really does take dedicating a lot of time if you want to grow your Instagram or your engagement, or even just create quality content, you know, like editing takes ages.
Yeah, it really does. I think like when I was working, I'm gonna put this down because my legs actually gone numb on the floor. Okay. We sat in the most awkward position. Right, I'm gonna go that. Is that okay? Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. You're on my radiator. Anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, so when I was working, I would always use my weekends to like get swipe workouts filmed. Basically, I would go to the gym, I'd get my friend, I'd be like, help me film.
Yeah.
But now there's more opportunities to do that, and as we were saying earlier, sort of having more of a plan of what you're going to post. Like I definitely used to be like you in the sense that I would be quite impulsive with what I posted. But now I have much more of a plan. It's like, okay, even if it's more of a plan in the sense that I have a photo this day, the swipe workout the next day, like whatever, but I have to have it kind of backlogged in my phone so I know what I'm doing. Definitely more planning makes it kind of more aesthetically pleasing, and I just think it comes across better.
It's more well thought out, isn't it? There's too many times that I've written a long post, I've posted it, and then I've gone back and edited it, but you know, X amount of people have already read it and they're not going to come back again. And you've lost, like, I don't know, even just grammar and stuff. You have to go through like a fine-tooth comb, right, and make sure. Because I never used to be able to post on my computer. It used to only be on my phone. So it was a nightmare back then.
Yeah.
I want a bum. Oh God.
Oh my God, what? I can't see this.
I know that guy.
I want a bum like you.
So I want a bum like you. So when you're off season, especially, because I know Luke used to be your old coach, and I know Luke really well, and I'd literally be like, come on, how can I get that body? Like,
no,
you got to tell me what I got to do.
Oh my God.
Because you still look like you train, even when you've got higher body fat percentage, which I didn't have that until this year. I didn't realise it was just about having enough muscle underneath, you know? And you've got to have a lot more muscle than you actually thought, and then actually looks like, right?
Yeah, so true. You notice that on prep. As soon as you start dieting, you're like, I swear I had more muscle than this. And it just goes. At least
that's my glutes every time. I never lose my delts. My upper body is quite mature now, but my butt just goes, and I'm
what? I hated that about prep because I liked being quite curvy. Like I really, really missed it. Like my back looked shredded. I was like, cool, excellent. No bum, no legs, no boobs, nothing. I was like, oh.
No, and mine, I get really bad diet face.
Yeah.
And this time round, honestly, my face come in 2 weeks, and I was just like, what's going on here?
You've already got cheekbones that are like you too.
It's honestly, it's awful. So I've put a lot of body fat back on, thank God, and I still look like this. So I'm like, but it's because I'm older, so it's like just gets less and less body fat on your face and your upper body. Somebody's asked, are the photos and videos like pre-filmed from the days before?
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
Anything on my story will be that day. Like I never backlog any of that, but yeah, the photos and videos usually thought through. I'll occasionally be impulsive, but rarely. Yeah.
I always find that I check the times when you shouldn't really post. So for me, especially with fitness competitors, they usually go to bed early and they get up early to do cardio. So if I've got something to post at like 10 o'clock at night, no one's going to see it. No one's going to interact with it. So I always will write it out and save it in a draft. And I just post it when I wake up. And honestly, everyone's doing their cardio. They're on their phones.
Yeah.
And then it just gets more traction.
Yeah.
Because as much as you don't do it for the likes, you still want people to like it.
You don't want nothing from it.
Yeah.
No one does.
And I actually think so. If certain sponsors want your metrics, don't they? They want to know what your interaction is, how many likes you've got. I have had to submit that data to previous sponsors on a weekly basis.
Yeah. I think I had more of a routine with when I would post when everything was normal, but in lockdown it's gone a bit tits up, to be honest. Like, I think I've been posting at any time of day at the moment, and it seems to be doing about the same. So I literally just don't know.
Because people don't have bedtime anymore.
No. Like, I don't know what people are doing in their days. So
I go to bed between 9:30 and 4 a.m. Like, any time between that, I could be tired and I might go to bed. It's just crazy.
It's really bad. I think I'm going to struggle when I go back to work. I'll be like, what is this?
I honestly just don't know how I'm ever going to go back to normal. Like, this is normal now.
Yeah.
And having to train either before work or after work is going to be so weird.
I don't know.
Because
like,
now
when
I'm training within the day.
I would train at the crack of dawn. Like, I'd be up at 5, I'd go to the gym. And now I'm like, I'm only going to bed at like 1.
Yeah.
12. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
I know.
Back around again. But we'll see.
It's crazy. Are you expecting to go back to your marketing job, or is it not sure yet?
I hope so, but again, I don't know.
Nobody knows, right?
No. I'm furloughed until the end of August at the moment, so I'm wasting time every day.
Well, now's the time to do the things that you never had time to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm spending a lot of time just training in my garage because I don't need to rush through anything.
Yeah. My training sessions are anything between 1 and 3, sometimes 4 hours, because I just sit on my couch as a rest period, and all of a sudden I'm like, shit, that's been 10 minutes.
Get going.
But I'm lifting much heavier weights for much better reps because I've got no time limit. I don't have to rush myself before I'm fully rested.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it because that's how I like to train.
Yeah, it's nice. Like, I've finally got my hands on some actual proper weights, so I've got bar and plates and stuff. But for the first 8 weeks of lockdown, I was just doing like bands and everything like that. But actually, I feel like that's really helped me in a lot of ways in terms of like mind muscle connection and things like that. I found myself like really properly connecting with the movements that I'm lifting again. So actually, maybe a blessing in disguise. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was, it's worked out.
I've had quite a lot of my friends say the same thing. I just straight up refused to do the band workouts. I just didn't train for 4 weeks. I hated it so much. I'd just come out of prep, so I was like, it was my 9th week of prep when lockdown started, so I could afford to take 4 weeks off until my weights came. But I can remember thinking when they came, oh, we're going to go back to normal soon. What's the point? And it's been another 2 months since, and we're still not back to normal. And it's like, when's that going to happen then?
The UK.
If you can hear any weird snoring, the snoring in the background is my 2 cats.
No way.
They're literally like.
I feel like that right now.
They're snoring so loud. So I had a question asking what kind of posts do best. You said that your lifestyle ones, did you say? My ones are bikini ones.
Yeah.
So if I have underwear or bikini, but I'm a bikini competitor, and also they asked me about like, when do you decide whether it can go onto Instagram or not? Yeah. So for me, I work in I've always worked in finance. I work in tech now actually, and we have clients that will Google me, and I always just have to make sure that this Instagram doesn't alienate my job. I've had jobs where I've had to have it private, and that's why my following is a lot lower than it might have been, because I had to have a private page because my work would have gone mad. It was just inappropriate to them that I was in a sparkly little bikini. But I always make sure that any of my posts where I am showing any skin are in competitive poses for me. So
enough. Absolutely.
Yeah, my most risque pose is that transition pose where you're popping your booty and then you're back in. And that would be like the sexiest picture that I can put on.
Yeah.
But also, if my boss calls me in, I can literally be like, I do that on stage.
Yeah, you do that in front of a lot of people.
Yeah. So I really had to put a lot of thought into whether it's appropriate. And I also do just think, like, is it something that I would want my boss to see? Would I be comfortable with him seeing? Or my parents or my boyfriend, would he be okay with me putting this on? So that keeps my page kind of PG.
Yeah.
Because some girls, you know, they have a lot more risque pictures. They've got a lot bigger following. But yeah, for me, it's just that comfort level. When I take a picture, sometimes I've wanted to put pictures on, but I've just thought it's just a little bit too sexy. And I also don't want to attract those kind of followers either that are sending you DMs. I don't get DMs, you know. I don't get dick pics. I've got one guy that dresses up in like women's lingerie and sends me pictures of him like dressed up as a schoolgirl and stuff, and then he'll block me, and then he'll come back in 6 or 8 months time with like 10 pictures of him in all these little weird things, and I screenshot them, right? And you can tell that someone's screenshotting. Is probably why he then blocks me. He's American, he just looks like a normal guy.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, just never ever talks to me, just started sending me these pictures, and I'm just like, wow.
I'm an Indian guy that sends me pictures of his family. I'll just let it be. Instagram's such a weird place. It is.
It really is. But I think that
in any way, it's just like, this is my family, and I'm like, lovely. It's just great.
Bless him. You know what I do think is really pisses me off actually is in my stories especially, you can like interact with the video or the picture, and you can do like the heart eyes or the flames. And then sometimes someone will do it and you might have a look at their page and they've got a wife or a girlfriend and they're there with their family, and you're just like, that's so grubby. Like how would she feel, how would they feel if they knew that you were some bikini model on the internet and you're liking pictures of them just because they've got their skin on show? Like, I'd kill my boyfriend. Like, it's okay to look at them, sure, but did you really need to go that one step further and interact?
Yeah, no, yeah, good. I think in terms of the actual post as well, it's like, even if you take a photo you're actually quite proud of or you like or whatever that's a little bit risky, the minute you think about some of the people that will look at it and maybe do whatever with it, it's like, absolutely not. I am not posting that. It's literally like that. And I know that I do, like, I get my skin out. I have photos where I'm in a bikini. I've just done a lingerie shoot as well, but like I try and keep everything to like a certain like level that I'm happy with that. Like, absolutely, if girls want to be a bit more risky and that's them, go and do it, that's fine. But of course, like, I don't want that. And I think my opinion is that there are certain things that are just better for your private life. Like, you don't need to share it with the world. You don't. Like, keep a bit of pride.
A bit of mystery for your man.
Like, imagine if, I don't know, imagine if you're posting everything that you would send to your boyfriend, for example, on Instagram.
I'd be in jail.
Probably, but like, you must feel a bit like, oh, I don't feel very special anymore.
Yeah, it's very true. I've always said to new like people that I start dating, like, if I ever post something that makes you feel uncomfortable, just tell me. Does not necessarily mean I'm going to take it down or stop, but we'll have a conversation about it. Exactly. Because, but then I'm kind of sensitive to that because of my job, and as you said, people sending it around and screenshotting. Like, how many times have you seen a picture you shouldn't have seen because someone's sending it all around? So, for example, I'm sure we both know girls that have OnlyFans accounts. And then people are screenshotting them and distributing them to like friends of friends and stuff, and it's like, I just wouldn't want that to happen to me with pictures that I don't want the public to see.
Not at all. Like that, the thought of OnlyFans just makes me feel physically sick. I can't imagine.
Do you know what? I'm not sexy. I couldn't, I can do pictures and I can look nice in a picture, but I just would never, I'm just not sexy. Like, I just wouldn't know how to do it.
The world, it's like, nah.
And then you have to be so creative as well.
Yeah.
Like, I just
every time I do one of the like question thingies on my story, like for people to ask questions, I always get people saying, "Are you going to do OnlyFans?" I'm like, no.
Honestly,
never.
I also don't have the time. That takes much more effort and time than Instagram. And you got to have an Instagram really to have a good OnlyFans following, and vice versa. It's just too much work. But those girls are raking it in.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah.
I know a girl, she's
people
got
that are making a lot of money. Yeah.
But again, for me, if my work ever found a page like that, I would lose my job. And that job is got more longevity than the OnlyFans. So yeah, I could make a killing probably. There's a redhead fetish, I'm telling you, like it's very strange.
That's a calling.
But it would be so like fickle, and it really wouldn't last very long. And then what,
No, exactly. And then what? Yeah.
And I just couldn't bear the thought of those pictures being distributed around the boys at my gym and stuff. Yeah, it's not good. How do you actually film your training videos? Because mine are terrible. And when I'm getting my friend to do them, it's always like, don't get my stomach in it. They're just like, what? And I'm like, don't get my stomach in it. And there's so many times I've had to do an extra set because I look at the video and I'm like,
oh god, it's funny that if you get someone that doesn't train to film something, it's never a good angle. It's literally
never. Especially if you wear a belt and your belly is just bulging under the belt, no matter how slim you are, right? No matter what stage.
It's race against it. There's nothing you can do. Like, it's just no, so at the moment I'm training with a friend, so he's like filming bits for me. But otherwise I literally have the worst setup. So I have a camera, but I don't have a tripod. So I like balance it in my shoe and put it on a chair. Like, it's nothing special behind it.
It works.
Yeah, it works. It does work. Although I do want to invest in one of those. There's a tripod that like follows you around. It's got like a motion sensor. It looks so cool. I really want one, but I can't afford it right now because I just bought a whole like weight set.
Gym.
I actually bought a gym, so yeah.
I did the same. So I obviously bought all of my equipment right at the start of lockdown. So for the first 2 months, I was just thinking, I have not saved any money in the lockdown. But now this month, I haven't bought any gym kit. And I don't think I will next month. And I don't think I'm going back to work. I can't imagine we're really going back to the gym next month either. Even if the gym opens, it's going to be so busy that I just can't even imagine. Gyms in London, for some reason, have one leg press. Great, guys, thanks. One leg extension. And you're just like, yeah, we're all just going to queue up here because they're the 2 machines that I need.
Oh, my God. So that's why I always used to train so early at like, I'd be at the gym by like 6:30 usually, and there's a fair amount of people, but like you can get stuff done. Whereas if you go after work,
I go after work. And then in my gym there's a CrossFit box as well, so all the CrossFitters are using all the stuff as well, and it's just like, for goodness sake. Somebody's asked, how do you have enough space on your phone for the video, and do you edit with InShot?
I don't edit with InShot. I have Final Cut Pro on my laptop that I will edit everything on. I end up having to delete so much stuff on my phone all the time just to be able to get the video on.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, the camera files are really big, so anytime I've edited a video, I will have to delete that video to then do the next one, if that makes any sense. But I keep it all on my laptop. I just don't keep it on my phone.
How do you deal with Instagram compressing the files and reducing the quality?
I found it's not so bad now. I've actually got a good camera.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely did it more so when I was just filming bits on my phone. But now, like, even though the quality is much better if you watch it from the actual camera, it's not that bad when I put it on Instagram now. So yeah, make sure you upload it when you have strong Wi-Fi as well, because if you upload on data, it definitely goes worse. Definitely.
Do you think so?
Just that.
Yeah, that is good to know. So I find I get a lot of engagement because I do a lot of stories. So since I started to do stories, obviously people can just tap an emoji, you know, to interact with you a bit more, and then you tap it back if you don't want to speak to them.
Love that.
Oh yeah. I try and do it on WhatsApp. My friend will send me a message and I don't want to respond, so I go to tap it, and then I'm like, for fuck's sake. It's owned by the same people. I think it should be an option in WhatsApp as well. Do you find that you get a lot more traction and a lot more interaction with your people that follow you in the stories or on comments on posts?
I don't think it's about the same, to be honest. I get a fair amount of people replying to stories, but as you say, it's normally like the emojis and stuff like that, which I can't help but find kind of annoying sometimes. Like, I wish I could turn that option off.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, some people are absolutely fine, but I've had certain people in the past that would like do an emoji for every single story, like constantly, and then message me saying, "Why don't you reply to me?" And I'm like, what do you want me to say? Like I don't know. Like, I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get messages like that, actually. Yeah.
See, I had this conversation with a friend recently, and he was saying that I'm rude because I don't reply to every single message that I get. But then I said to him, like, I've got such little time that I need to have, like, most of my time goes on my friends, you know, my peers. And then a lot of people will message you and they'll ask you for advice and they'll ask questions, and you might put your heart and soul into an answer and you don't even respond to say thank you. And it's just, you have to kind of, I suppose, read, have you got time? You know, like, if, like tonight, for example, I've got literally nothing to do after this. I've got time to sit down, and if I've got some questions, I'll be able to respond. But I also like to tell people, like, I'm no expert on any of this, right? Like, you can ask me about competing. Yeah, I've won a couple of shows. It doesn't mean I'm an expert competitor that knows everything, right? Or somebody sent me, like, I get a lot of messages about mental health and stuff because I talk about it. And it's like, I am most definitely not qualified to talk to you about this. And you need to talk to a qualified professional, you know, you need to get help. And I think that pisses people off because they want me to give them the answer.
Yeah.
But I can't. And I'm really careful sometimes that I don't say something that I really shouldn't, you know.
Well, I think that is a really, really good thing, because a lot of people are quick to give advice that they probably shouldn't. So I think that's why people like you in a lot of ways, because you are so honest.
Yeah, I definitely, I think people trust me a lot because I literally just, if I don't like a product, everyone knows I don't like the product.
Yeah. I think you really do.
And if I put my name to something and said it's good, it's really good.
Yeah,
like,
literally, same here. I'm not going to say I like something if I don't like it. I'm not going to say I use a product if I don't use a product. Like, I'm just not. Yeah.
Someone has said, is moving files from your phone to your laptop and then vice versa to upload a bit long?
Can be. Can be, yeah. I'd usually just go straight from my camera to my phone, and it doesn't take me too long. If I edit it on my laptop, airdrop it to myself, it's not that bad. But yeah, I wish I could do it all in one place. But
one day technology will catch up with us. Have you ever posted something that's really pissed people off and like caused a stir?
I don't think so.
No.
Obviously, you always get, like, well, not always, but there's always someone that's a bit of a dick that will comment something that kind of sets something off. For example, like the support of the Black Rights post the other day, Blackout Tuesday.
Yeah.
I had an absolute arsehole decide.
Really?
he was gonna block me because I posted to support it. He was like, this makes it easy for me to find who to block and then block them. I was just like,
well,
wow. Yeah. But it's just like, obviously that sparks a bit of an argument on my comments, be it not necessarily from me but from other people. But like, I just, I'm not even gonna go into that. It's just really, really pissed me off.
Do you know, I didn't really pay any attention to my numbers on those days. I might go back and have a look after this, but I did know, I've seen a lot of people post saying, you know, I've lost 1,500 followers if they've got huge accounts. Like,
I think it's horrendous. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if I was so naive to that as well. I did not think that would happen. Like, I did not think there would be people commenting on that, saying it's a bad thing that I'm supporting that. It just completely shocked me. Really, really did.
Me too. I think that I'd been quite ignorant to the fact that everyone cares, you know, like, and we may not be doing something usually and actively about it, but something like this happens, and of course you're going to support. But I've seen so many people having such a tough time about the topic and stuff just because of the people that follow them. I was surprised. I was very surprised, because if I see something that I don't like, I just keep scrolling.
I would never feel the need to stop comment on something negative. But what, like, it's just a waste of energy. Like, what?
I even see it. You know, when people do, say, a transformation post and they do their before and after, and sometimes people in the comments can get really personal and real arseholes. I've never had that, thankfully. But I also just think then, like, what makes you think, I know, I'm going to spend 10 minutes of my life arguing with a stranger on the internet about something that's got absolutely nothing to do with me?
Exactly. I think you just have to be so, like, impartial to what people have to say, because, like, there's no point worrying about what some guy says halfway across the world. Like, I really don't care. I definitely think those transformation posts are one for the comments, though. Like, I've definitely posted ones in the past where, like, I'll put a photo of when I was really skinny, like, really unhappy, really, like, not very well, to be honest, and comparing it to now, and I'll have people say, oh, you look so much better when you were skinny, like, you look like this now, or whatever. And it's like, really? Like, are you going to be that much of a dick? But
even if I saw the picture and I thought you looked better A or B, I wouldn't take it upon myself to tell you.
Not. Like,
but I don't know. I've been really lucky that I don't have or haven't had yet like any of that kind of treatment, but I've seen it so many times, especially with the very big transformations. I think it probably helps that I don't look that different in the off season, to be honest. My genetics are small, but girls that have lost, like, their whole body weight, you know, down, and I really see trolling. Some people just here to troll, though, you know, they don't even think it. But they just love to stir up a storm. They're little keyboard warriors, aren't they? They're sitting there with a big grin on their face.
I know. I mean, thankfully, like, 99% of people are absolutely lovely and supportive, but there's just always the odd one. But that just goes for anything in life, doesn't it? There's always going to be someone.
I do think when you put yourself out into a public forum, you're asking for it, right? So you just have to be thick-skinned. And
take it. Like,
exactly. I really don't value anyone's opinion that I don't care about. So if you want to tell me that I look anorexic now because I'm competing, you know, I've got eating disorder because I'm lean, think what you think. You know, like, I mean, like, I'm not saying it is normal to get down to competition level, because it's not, but I don't,
but you know what you're doing. That's the difference. The person that commented on it didn't. So
I think also because I'm a lot older, I don't care. I'm very lucky that I came along, like, I think I was 25 when I got Facebook for the first time. You know, like, Instagram, I was 32, 33 maybe. So for me, I didn't grow up in the social media age. It's very different. I see some of my friends who are mid-20s and they just struggle because their whole life is validation from likes and there's cyberbullying. My friends with like teenage kids, that they're just being bullied rotten on apps that your parents don't even know exist. Yeah, it's a very different age, and I think that's why I have a no fucks given attitude to anything I post as well, because I don't think about what I write what I want to write.
Yeah.
Some of my friends will say, though, that I share too much of my personal thoughts or feelings, especially feelings. But I want to, and I'm comfortable. Yeah. And a lot of people follow me because of that, because it is genuine, and it does make them think I'm not the only one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think there should be more accounts like that, definitely.
I just think if one person can relate to what I've said and then think, okay, but she made it through, you know, like, then great, my work here is done, kind of thing, because it is a photo album, but I would like to add value to people's lives as well, you know.
Exactly.
And that takes more than a few bikini pictures, sadly.
I know. I am very, very glad that I wasn't like brought up in this society. Like, I'm glad I didn't. Like, Instagram didn't exist when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Because like, it would have just been awful. Like, I really couldn't imagine anything worse. Like, obviously you're like vulnerable, well, not necessarily vulnerable, but like you're more influenced by what people have to say when you're younger. I don't give a shit now at all, which is why I can happily like post whatever. I really don't care if anyone doesn't like it. But like, when I was younger, I think I would have done. And it's scary, isn't it? It's scary that people are brought up with that, and there's so much pressure on kids these days. So much pressure.
Yeah, I know. And they care so much as well.
I know.
Because it's just a perception thing, I suppose, and it's so public that everyone can see it happening as well. Yeah.
I just hope that they follow more honest accounts like yours and things like that, where people really do just speak their minds. Like, that's important.
Yeah. What I find, how you find those accounts is you find the one person who's like it, and you look at the people that they follow. Yeah, because they're very likely to follow like-minded kind of people, because all my friends that compete are not those kind of fluffy competitors that do play the game. They're the ones with a dry, dirty sense of humor. They're sarcastic, you know, they are very authentic. They just, our saying is always, I said what I said. like your lumpy, I said what I said. Like, and so all my friends, if you went through my followers, are more likely to be like that. And also you find the same kind of, if you like someone's content and you want to see something similar, go and look at who they follow. If you've
I'm trying to think of who I follow now after this conversation. I follow such a variety of people. Like, I know certain accounts will only follow certain sorts of people. Like, you probably follow more competitors than anyone else. Mine's like all over the place. I follow like fashion, musicians, like athletes, I don't know, some fitness people, but I don't have a specific circle that I follow. I think that's quite nice, because you can scroll through and it can be like such a variety of things, and nothing really like gets to you in a certain way.
I've actually got 2 accounts. So I've got my fitness one, which is just for fitness, and then I've got my personal account, which is no pictures of my body. It's pictures of me laughing with my friends, you know, making memories. I actually have some makeup on that one. You know, like that is my photo album. That's where I follow the things I'm really interested in. So like, I really love science and the galaxy, like memes, obviously the most hilarious memes ever, and the driest, like most inappropriate memes. I do all of that from there, so that I can switch off from this fitness obsessed world if I need to. I can just go on my other account, and I've met every single person I follow is a real life friend. You know, and I don't follow celebrities, like stuff like that, because I just don't have the capacity mentally to do my job, to do this fitness thing, to service my friends and my relationships, my personal relationships, and still have some time for me.
So true. So true. And Instagram can take up so much of your time, so you've got to be careful. Like, you've got to make sure that you spend time with people, like real people in real life.
Do you kind of like carve time out in the day specifically to do your social media?
Usually when I was working, it would be like in the evening that I would.
Yeah.
Now I probably spend a bit too much time on Instagram.
Me too.
But yeah.
Yeah, me too. But I think for you, it helps with your job, right? As a coach. So
yeah,
it is an investment in your work as well.
You've got to, it's a fine line between convincing yourself it's an investment in your coach. No, but it's true, isn't it? You can be like, oh, this is worth it to me to like really be doing this right now, when really you're probably just procrastinating, or like, I don't know. You've got to be very honest with yourself.
Yeah, you really have to be honest with yourself. Sometimes I check, you can see how much time you've spent on the app.
Yeah. Scary.
Sometimes I'm like, how have I spent that many hours today doing that? I'm at work.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it can be really crazy.
Yeah.
I think I have answered all the questions that I've been asked. Alienate, top tips. Yes. There were 3 people that want to know if you're single, but I didn't answer that question. And 1 person wanted to know what your OnlyFans was.
Oh God. Let's just not.
We've covered that already, guys.
Yeah, we've covered that already. No OnlyFans, never ever will be. And I keep my relationship life off of Instagram.
The best way.
End of story.
Most definitely. I learned that the hard way, actually. I find it, if I train with my boyfriend or the guy I'm dating, that's probably when he'll make it to my social media. But my best friends, we don't even follow each other on Instagram because she's from before my fitness lifestyle. This account, there's no value for her in it apart from to see what I'm up to every now and then.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just don't, because we have an in real life relationship. And I really like the friends that don't get het up on this Instagram like, oh, you haven't liked my post. And it's like, give me a chance. I don't scroll the wall anymore.
Literally.
I'm a stories person because it just flicks onto the next story. And I'm like, and luckily the algorithm, gives you just the people you always watch, right? So people I don't tend to interact with, I never see their stuff.
No, exactly. I think, you've got to draw a line between social media and real life. You definitely do. Like,
some people just don't.
I'm the worst texter in the world. I will be honest about that. So there are certain people that's like, you're a real life person. Like when we spend time together, like we're having an amazing time, but I probably won't text you.
Yeah.
So
I'm so grateful for voice notes.
Oh, literally.
Because I can multitask. You can put the voice note on, lock it, and then you can just do your washing up while you're talking. Yeah.
Literally, I love them.
But I do find like texting, WhatsApp and stuff, I just moved away from that kind of interaction. Even on Instagram, if somebody asks me a question, even if I don't know them, if I do reply, it's usually by voice note.
Yeah. If it's a long question, I won't. I will voice.
And actually, people like that, don't they? Because you're actually giving them some of yourself. I do find that the people that I would reply to like that, they're going to be more invested in me now going forward because I've invested in them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those are the people that say thank you anyway.
Nice people.
Do you get a lot of coaching inquiries from your Instagram?
I get pretty much all of them for Instagram. So it's a good platform for that. Yeah, definitely.
And do you use any other social media platforms? Like, do you have YouTube and stuff?
Nope.
No.
I kind of want to, but I also feel like Instagram takes up enough time at the moment. Maybe I'm making excuses, I don't know, but I also don't know what I'd vlog about. Like, I know people always want to watch just what you're generally doing in your life, but like I feel like especially now I'm not doing anything interesting. Like, would anyone want to watch that? And especially when I am at work, like I'm working at 9 to 5, like what am I gonna film?
I just feel like if I was going to use multiple platforms, I'd have to have like individual content for both. Otherwise, I'm just doing exactly the same thing and just uploading it to different places.
Yeah.
What's the value in that to the people that are interacting? So I just feel like, well, if you want to watch it, it's on my Instagram. I couldn't imagine having the time.
No. Maybe if you got into like a proper routine of it, you'd be okay. Yeah, it would be a tough one, definitely.
Yeah. Well, we only have 3 minutes left. It's absolutely gone like a flash. And I put every single person on the spot now and say, do you have any final tips or comments for anybody that is interested in this topic?
What, specifically growing your social media?
Yeah, or just even how do you come up with your content? Like, especially your fashion pictures, because they're a little bit different to your usual fitnessy.
Yeah, well, I like getting dressed up, so I never really took the opportunity for doing it on Instagram because I thought, oh, my followers probably don't want to see that. But then I started to post a few and they actually did quite well, so I was like, oh, maybe I can actually do both of these things that I enjoy doing. So yeah, but have I got like a main tip? I guess it would just be to, whatever you post, make sure you are 100% happy with what you post, because even if it doesn't do well or something does really well, it doesn't matter, because you can be like, look, I am happy with what I posted here, so regardless of what the Instagram algorithm does to it, like, you can be satisfied. And I definitely think that's the way I go through what I post. It's like, if I post this, am I going to be happy with it tomorrow, next week, next year? If yes, then post.
Tune, don't go on Instagram when you're drunk. That's my tip. I've had to come back the next day and delete stories like 300 people have seen this. Oh my god.
Make sure it's on your own personal one, not your fitness account. Who's exposing yourself to like 30,000 people.
Yeah, I would say like my biggest tip, well, the two would be just be yourself, post for yourself, and the right people will be attracted to your content, you know, because you don't want just, it's like people that buy followers or in their networking loops, like those people are not actually interested in your stuff. There's no point in just having X amount of followers. So yeah, just stay true to yourself, but also have a life off of Instagram, because this is just a highlight reel, and it can be great for, say for example, for your business, but you need to have a personal life as well, and you need to keep that separate at times, especially with the people that matter.
100%.
Biggest, right? I think we've all probably at one point pissed one of our friends off because we're more into the Instagram thing than spending time with them. It happens to everyone, right? But yeah, I would definitely say that's my biggest thing, is just have a life outside of this social media world.
I like that. That's a good tip.
And then put it on social media afterwards. No. Right. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone that is watching. I'm going to put it on my IGTV and I'm going to put it on my Instagram. No, my YouTube. But I'll tag you in it so you can share it. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It's been so nice. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.